I think my Minecraft world looks pretty awesome, right? I think I made a lot of really cool builds in this world, but not many of them are practical. There's a whole bunch of just filler buildings in this world, not really that many of them serve a real purpose. And I would like to change that today. In a recent episode, I built this city that I'm currently walking through right now, and I left every single one of these buildings empty. But I would like to convert each of these buildings into a little shop front that has an automatic farm in the basement. There are a total of 4 empty buildings in this area, so that means I'm going to have to make 4 automatic farms. Let's get started. Before I start working on the main focal point of this episode, we have something very important we have to do. The channel now has its first member, so that means I have to rename a block after that person. They wanted to be some kind of nature block, and they specifically said they like moss blocks. So let me introduce everybody to Glitch McGamer Mom 7180. The brand new moss block in this world. Now, if you would like to get named after a block of your own in my hardcore series, you can head down to the join link in the description down below where you can become a channel member. So far, I only have one tier. It's called the Shramalams. So if you join that tier, you are guaranteed to be named a block in my world. Now, I want to make a full building dedicated to all of the members eventually. I'm thinking I make another castle in one of the next couple of episodes, but until then, I'm just gonna put every member in this chest. So welcome to the world, Glitch McGamer Mom. I will definitely put you up on an item frame once we make the build. And my very temporary plan is to try to, start that build next episode. I think it'll be a building in the city. I'm thinking about having like a nice castle maybe over there. And either the whole castle or maybe just the basement I can, make for the members. But enough talking about next episode. All right, let's focus on this one. I would like to put an automatic farm in every single one of these buildings, probably in the basement. As of right now, we have 4 unoccupied buildings in this town. Of course, last time we built this one, which is fully taken up on the inside. We have a nice little library here now. And I don't believe I'm gonna have an automatic farm under this one. I might change my mind, but as for now, I don't have any plans. I do, however, have plans for this building. This is gonna be the first one we tackle today. I use moss quite often, and I like bone mealing the grass around my areas. So I figured I should probably make a moss and a bone meal farm at some point in this world. I'm pretty certain you can combine those 2 farms together because moss farms produce a lot of extra stuff that can be composted down into bone meal. So the first of these farms is going to be a moss farm in this building, but before we can get to that, I have to do the rest of this interior. So let me go ahead and get this interior done. I think this looks pretty nice in here. It's just a nice little shop. We have a bunch of moss stuff kind of, acting as inventory that this place would sell. We have a couple like potted azalea bushes as well. Also just some leaves back here behind the counter. I think it's looking pretty cool in here. And no, I didn't do the upstairs. I don't really think I'm going to do the second floor of many of these buildings. Maybe some of them if I kind of feel like it, but right now I just don't really know what to do. And I kind of just like this little store down here. From here, then, I'm sure we could just have like a drop chute, like a water drop chute over here to take us down underground to the actual moss farm. But before I actually start working on any of the automatic farms, let me go ahead and finish off all of these interiors. Oh man, wasn't that just the sickest transition of all time? Anyway, all the interiors are done now. I've already showed off this one, so let's hop over to this building, which is my bamboo shop farm thing. Like, obviously the bamboo farm's gonna go underneath, much like every other farm here, but here's a little interior I did for bamboo stuff. Love this chair design. I saw it on Twitter, and I really apologize, because I have no idea who tweeted it. It was just like on, like how you can have like the For You page now on Twitter? It was on there. I didn't follow the guy, so I'm not sure who it was, but this is a great chair design, with a piece of scaffolding, and then a bamboo trapdoor. Looks so good. Love that. Let's move on to this building over here then, which is, of course, my pumpkin and melon shop. I wanted to originally put the pumpkin farm in like the spooky village, but I kind of just never got around to it, so we're gonna have it right here. But we have a couple shelves for like pumpkins and melons. I really like this shelf design. A couple leaves as well that are potted in some composters, and of course like a little cash register area over there. And this final house back here is our carrot and potato shop with also some hay bales. Now, I'm going to have a carrot and a potato farm underneath here. I'm not going to have a wheat farm because I'm pretty sure you need a lathe for that, at least for one design, and I don't really feel like bothering with them. So we're just going to set up like the typical villager produced potato and carrot farm. I think those things produce pretty well. and it'll give me all the carrots and potatoes I'm ever going to need. I mainly want the carrots because I can probably set up a gold farm in the near future just to have unlimited golden carrots. I've been buying my golden carrots from villagers, so technically I already do have unlimited, but it's a lot less tedious of a process if you just have a gold and a carrot farm. But now, of course, we have to start working on the actual farms underground. And that's going to require a lot of digging. So let me fly over to this beam sticking out of the ground so I can pick up my beacon. Now let's take this beacon and I'm just going to set it up over here somewhere. Hopefully it can actually be reached everywhere I'm going to be in this city. And I'm going to begin by clearing out the underground area of the moss farm. I feel like this is probably big enough. I can always go bigger once I'm building, I guess, but this should at least be a good start. I should also mention that I'm going to be using YouTube to look up some tutorials on how to make all of these farms, because I'm definitely nowhere near smart enough to figure out how to make any of these on my own. So if you would like to look at any of these farms more in depth, head on down to the description below, where I'm going to have a link for every single farm that I make in this video. I will also be time-lapsing these builds, so let me go ahead and cut it away to a time-lapse right now. I'm fairly certain this thing is working. I had a little bit of a hiccup while I was building this. I couldn't get it to work completely properly, but I think we're good now. So we have this chest here, which should generate moss and moss stuff. I'm gonna just watch it for a little while. Let me see if something changes. Okay, yeah, the moss is going up. So we are gathering moss. This one should be gathering bone meal. That went up from 46 to 47, so we are very slowly also getting some bone meal. And then I assume this line, like, refuels the whole farm? I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know if I built it incorrectly, but originally there was like a chest here that was supposed to collect the bone meal, but it wasn't getting any bone meal at all. I waited for a while and nothing happened. So I kind of just redirected the hopper lines, like, over here. But the important thing is, I'm fairly certain this is a working moss and bone meal farm. So that's very nice. Now that the first farm here is up and running, let's move on to the second farm, which is a bamboo farm. Once again, though, I'm going to begin the bamboo farm by just digging out an area. I'm gonna start with a room this size. We can always expand this if I need to. But let me go ahead and gather all the materials for this farm, and then I will cut away to a time lapse of me actually building it. And now we have a bamboo farm. It's very small. Or actually, it's at least average sized, I would say. I feel like some would probably even say it might be too big of a bamboo okay, I'm done with those jokes. Anyway, though, yeah, we finished the bamboo farm. I think it's working. I'm probably gonna AFK here for a little while and actually see if this thing does work. While I'm waiting, I guess I should also say that I think if I ever actually need a crap ton of bamboo down the line, like if I want to make like a really big like bamboo wood building, I will probably make like the flying machine powered bamboo farm, because that one's far more efficient. But I think this will probably be good enough for me for a little while. I can always add one more of these like over here. I went back and added some light to make sure the bamboo can grow better, which I think is a thing. Could be a myth, I don't really know, but once I added this light, these two pieces actually grew. So now we wait. Alright, so it looks to be working. The only small issue I'm seeing is it looks like the bamboo can get caught on other pieces of bamboo. I don't know how much loss that's going to make, but I'm honestly not super worried about it, because it's already growing back. This might get pushed off eventually. All that bamboo was picked up in the hopper, so once that goes all the way down here again, it should unload everything. And that actually just naturally fell. Alright, good to know. So this thing should be fully functional then. We'll come back and check on it in a little while to see how it's producing. And this next farm is going to be a pumpkin and a melon farm. I'm going to save the villager-powered farm for last, because I really don't want to deal with villagers right now. So once again, let's start by cutting away a lot of stone underground. We have the room dug out here for the pumpkin and melon farm, so let's cut away to a time lapse and let's build this thing. Now, this abomination should be a working pumpkin and melon farm. Did not mean to break that. The tutorial said to use glass here, but I didn't have any extra sand, and I didn't really feel like going to harvest any, so I just used some orange terracotta. It's fine. It still works. It's not necessary that it is glass. But as you can tell, this farm is working. We have a couple melon slices down here, and we're unloading a little bit more. Let's go. 11 melon slices, looking sick. Now, hopefully this thing produces well. If anything, I could always just stack another one on top. It was pretty easy to make. Of course, then, next up, we have to deal with villagers. I'm kind of dreading this because every time I have to deal with villagers, something pretty bad happens. They never cooperate properly. I'm probably going to kill a couple of them, but we're going to do our best. Like the other 3 farms, though, let me start by clearing out the underground area of the next building. For the last time today, we have a room dug out underneath one of the houses. And I'm feeling a little bit adventurous, alright? Feeling a little saucy. I kind of want to try to do this one on my own, without a tutorial. I think I can do it. I don't have too much faith in myself to make this, like, actually working. But I have enough faith to give it a try. So let me hit my storage room again, gather up all the materials, and then we will cut away to another time lapse. I actually did have to look up a video just to make sure I got this, like, inner compartment thing correct, because I was a little confused. Alright, I tried my best, but I was definitely a little confused. But I think I have something that will work. The idea is that you put a villager in here, and then you have a farming villager in this farm and this farm. The farming villager will just harvest the farm naturally and replant it, and then try to throw food every once in a while to the villager in the middle, but these hopper minecarts will intercept the food, and it'll go into these 2 chests. But now comes the extremely fun part of getting some villagers. So I guess let's go ahead and build a massive minecart track going all the way over to the city. There are no villagers in the farm. Please do not tell me I turned it off a while ago and forgot to turn it back on. The farm wasn't turned off, at least I don't think it was. But I lost my farmer. I got rid of this slab, thinking that I'd use that to turn the farm off. And, yeah, the farmer walked down there. Let's go on a very short rescue mission. There we go. Good. You're in the farm again. Alright. Need you to make babies. I think I know what I can do to speed up the process. There we go. Alright, come on. You got this. Maybe I can put on some tunes. Doesn't seem to be working. Alright, let me go get some food. Hey, it worked. Alright, you produced a little man. But once this gym grows up, I need to know if villagers take damage in a minecart, like from a fall. I can definitely look that up, but that's a lot less fun. You know what I might actually do to speed up the process? I have a bunch of villagers in all of these houses. And, yeah, I'm just gonna take 3 of them. Alright, the villager is off. I really want to see if it takes fall damage. You might have to be sacrificed for this, but it'll be worth it, I promise. I guess probably not for you, though. They do take fall damage. Next little experiment. Is this enough fall damage to kill a villager? How did you even do that? Get out of the food. He's definitely dead. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a little sad. All right, for science, test number 2. Let me put a water source down there. Maybe that'll break the fall. Okay, test subject number 2 is approaching. That was crazy, dude. The second test subject just despawned. I don't even know, you know, I don't know that happened. That's weird. It must have been like a glitch or something. I guess let's go get a third one. 3rd time's the charm, right? That's what they say. Alrighty, test subject number 3 is on their way. Good feeling about this one. Very good feeling. No way it goes wrong again, right? Jim, look at me. You're a champion. You can do this. You're gonna make your family proud. Or they're gonna be incredibly distraught. Let's see what happens. The first gym was an absolute chad. How did... Alright, I'm beginning to think we need a new approach. Alright, so no possible way that this one can go wrong. Alright, moment of truth. Let's go. You're a champion. Now, second drop, just prepare yourself. Hopefully you wore your bathing suit. And we've secured one. All right, here we go. How have you managed that? Like, get out of the stone. Like, what? All right, we have a proven system that works. Now, I think I can probably destroy that minecart, but I don't want to risk the villager glitching through like a wall or something. So I'm just gonna let it go like this, and let's see if we can get 2 more villagers. And I think we are up and running. All right, that was only like the 4th most annoying thing I did in this world. So, you know, definitely could have been worse. In every episode of this hardcore series, I would like to expand my city. Now, I know I did a lot of work in the city itself today, but I didn't actually expand anything. All the work I did was interior. I also wanted to do something different than just making another building, so today we are going to make a garden and also like a central point of this entire city. Now, I knew I wanted to make this platform a really big, like round-ish shape, so I tried to just freehand one to begin. But that looked awful, so I promptly took that down, and then I consulted this little diagram graph thing that kind of tells you how to make a circle with a given diameter. Went ahead and roughly made one of these circles. It didn't have to be completely perfect looking, because I knew I was going to mess it up in the end. I didn't want it to be completely symmetrical. But after I got that nice outer ring that I wanted, I went ahead and threw in the path design going all the way around. The idea for this area is to have a nice pathway that is circulating around the central garden. So once I had that pathway designed down, I went ahead, threw in a whole bunch of grass, and started outlining where the garden is going to go. I decided to go with a combination of cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, tough stone, and moss for the walls of this garden. And once I was happy with a design for the outline of the garden, I decided to move on to the inside, and I started building a whole bunch of custom trees. I've pretty much used the same custom tree design I have in my entire area, making some oak and some birch ones. I wanted to give this garden a little bit more life on the inside, so I went through and bone mealed all the exposed grass, added in a few benches as well, just to make it feel like people would actually walk through here. And I'm very content with the end result of this garden. I think it looks really nice. I wanted to also decorate the pathway going around this thing. So I just threw down the same cart and the same stall design that we had in the rest of the city so far. Then I decided I wanted a bit of extra light in this area, so I came up with a lamppost design and threw in a couple of those. And with those lampposts in place, this build is completely done. So let's take a quick look at this entire area now with shaders on. And I am massively in love with this centerpiece to this city. I never really mentioned it before, but I kind of plan on having 4 different streets branching off of this area, and each of the streets are going to be very similar to the street we already constructed. So this will definitely pose as the absolute center point for this village, and I think it fits that vibe perfectly. But that is everything that I have for you guys for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I think we made a good amount of progress, both just building up the city and also just in the world in general, allowing myself to get some more resources automatically. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.